Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Kimberly with Make a Difference Academy, and it's time for Inspired Thoughts. So here we go. What I feel inspired to talk about today is the inspired life. And just so you know, I've done the school drop off. I've made my run to Starbucks. We are good to go. um, I've had a handful of words that have almost my entire life just been very meaningful and powerful for me. And words, more and more research is showing that words can be very powerful, not because the words themselves are powerful, but because of the meanings that we associate with the words that cause our brains to fire in certain ways and have us feel certain things, elicit certain emotions. And so a couple of words that have always resonated with me, and certainly my entire adult life and in my career in the kind of the fitness, yoga, wellness industry, space, world. uh, One word has been fierce, as I think that to live this life in the fullness of who we are, in the way that we're meant to, the way we came here to do it, it does require being fierce, being bold. And then, as many of you know, I do love the word empower, which is why the event that I know many are familiar with was called Empower, because that was even part of my mission statement when I entered into the fitness industry when I was 19 years old. I often share the story because I was out for a walk. I used to think that I came up with this mission statement, but is very much not the case. It came to me. I was just out hiking one day and it just all came to me at one time. It wasn't even in like bullet points that I had to work on. It just was, my mission statement. It was, my mission is to empower as many people as I possibly can with the knowledge and tools necessary to live a healthier, happier, longer life. That has been my mission statement for my professional and my personal world for over 25 years. It hasn't changed even a syllable. So empower has been a big word. And then I'd say over the last decade, the word that has bubbled up for me that has meant probably more than anything is the word inspire. And I've spent a lot of time with this word, and it's a big word that came up. Oh, Andrea, thank you. That came up as I've been on my journey in the realm of studying happiness and personal development and spirituality. And I was at a weekend workshop with Wayne Dyer, and he was talking about the word inspire. And it came from the Latin word inspirare, which is to breathe life into. And that when you are feeling inspired, you are in alignment with who you really are. And so what I started oh, by the way, I got my hair chopped off. I got 6 inches cut off yesterday. I know it still looks kind of long, but it was long. The last time I got it cut was like it was over 3 years ago, and I got it chopped off for locks of love, and it's been growing ever since because I figured I'd do it again. So anyway, I went to grab it, and I'm like, where is it? So I just did that yesterday. Anyway, back to inspired. To be aligned with who you are. So I've started kind of creating this framework in my mind and in my heart for what it means to live the inspired life. And basically what it means is to live from the inside out. So often in this world that we live in and in these lives that we live, we're very outwardly focused, and our entire lives, like our hours and our days and our weeks and our months and our years, are spent observing and reacting to situations, scenarios, experiences, people outside of ourselves. And then a lot of our life experience is then colored by the perspective we have as we're observing these experiences outside of ourselves. And it just feels backwards to me. And I've learned that if we can, instead of having how we feel on the inside be oh, thank you, Andrea. Instead of how we're feeling on the inside be dependent on what's happening on the outside, if we could just reverse that and really hone in on creating an energy within us, call it a mindset. I also think of it as a heart set. We have a mindset, a heart set, a soul set, like, this opportunity to create a framework for ourselves that allows us to enter into our day every day differently than perhaps we have before. And I have learned that a willingness to see things differently is a huge step we can take in our lives toward living a more inspired life. Debbie says I can sit on my hair. I think that's why I finally gave in and got it cut, because I kept getting it like caught behind me. I can sit on my hair. I love it, Debbie. I want to see it. You should post a picture. And so I've also, been called to this past 6 months, probably ever since like the post that happened in June after I received a not very nice email and just shared my response with, I guess, the world on Facebook. I've felt a strong call to work with women, and so it's all started falling into place. And that's it's what I want to share with you more than anything today, is that when you make a conscious choice to, hey, Jonathan, right as I said, I'm feeling called to work with and empower women. Jonathan says hi. Sorry, Jonathan, I don't mean to leave you out. I love you. But it was really a big, several big light bulb moments over the last several months have happened where I've, that email happened, and the post, and all the feedback and messages and emails and phone calls that transpired as a result of that. The couple of events that I've led and been asked to lead and speak at that are specific to lifting up women, and just so much has been falling into place, and that's kind of the biggest thing when it comes to living the inspired life. It's really about lining up with who you are. So when's the last time you asked yourself, who am I? Who am I? Beyond that, what is it I really want to do? What does my soul signature look like in this life that would allow me to get to the end of my days and look back and say, you know what? I lived my life from the inside out, from my heart and my soul. I lived an inspired life. Because so many people, the vast majority of people, come to the end of their days and wish they had done things differently. And in fact, I've shared this before, but it's worth sharing again. One of my favorite books is called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, written by a palliative care nurse named Bronnie Ware. She originally wrote it as a blog. It got republished in the Huffington Post, which is where it really gained a good deal of attention, so much so that she then expanded it into a book, and it's amazing. And so a palliative care nurse, she's typically working with people who are in the last 12 weeks of their life. And she started asking them if they had regrets. And a couple of the regrets that she started to compile as she ended up being able to make a top 5 list. One of the regrets, was, I wish I hadn't worked so much. I wish I had stayed in touch with friends and family that I care about, things that you would expect. The number one regret, the regret that surfaced so much, it became number one on a top 5 list, was I wish I had had the courage to live a life true to myself instead of the life others expected of me. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself instead of the life others expected of me. So that for me is my vision and my intention for helping people live an inspired life. Because to live an inspired life is to be true to you. And so often, if we were to pause and take a look at how we're spending our hours and our days, and constantly, getting the to-do list done and taking care of our family and our friends and getting the work done that's expected of us and nurturing everyone around us, we lose track. We stop asking the question, what would inspire me? What would really cause me to come to the end of my days and feel like I was true to me? How could I be more heart-led in my life? How could I be more soul-led in my life to know that I'm living from an inspired place? Remember, inspired is to be in alignment with who you really are. And so that's what I'm feeling called to do. I'm feeling really called to help people. And I'm hoping, I really hope that Coming on Thursdays and just sharing what's on my mind and on my heart is helping, um, just in little bite sizes. But I want you to know that I am working on things that are going to provide even more of an opportunity, um, to be in service of those that want to be able to live this inspired life. So I just did a live video on inside the Elevate group. So Elevate is a coaching program for fitness and yoga instructors. It's such an amazing tribe of beautiful people who are doing what they do because they want to make a difference on the world. So that's a project that is incredibly close to my heart that I'm going to continue to do. And then I'm also really going to be focusing on this idea of the inspired life and what it means to live an inspired life, and thinking of ways that I can help you live an inspired life. Tony, why are you laughing at me? Tony just posted the LOL emoji. Um, it is not funny to live an inspired life. It is fun, though, to live an inspired life. So I'm really uh, wanting to continue to find ways. And what's awesome about living an inspired life and how I'm experiencing it come to life myself is that making decisions is incredibly powerful. And as I recently made just this past weekend, Tony said I didn't mean to hit that. It's okay. I love you. Um, just this past weekend, I through meditation and prayer, I'm thinking, how may I be true to myself and also be in service of the world around me? It's kind of what I always ask. Um, and just this past weekend, it was insane. Like, I was on my computer for hours in the hotel room. I was in Baltimore at a conference presenting, and Tyler had stayed home with his aunt and uncle, my brother Brian, and Jean, his wife Jean, my sister Jean, and they're incredible. So they had a great weekend. So I was able to focus on presenting at this conference, and on all my downtime, I was hammering away on my computer all of these ideas, these impulses that just came to me. I already have mapped out completely a 21-day challenge that I'm going to be throwing out at you. Probably it's going to be the end of November, beginning of December, and whether you challenge yourself and have it help carry you through the holiday season, or you wait and do it in January, it'll be there. But I've already got it completely outlined and laid out, and now I'm just got to film it for you. All these ideas started coming to me. A coaching program that is similar to a coaching program I've done before, as well as some information and content that I've presented at live events, started coming to life for me in a way that I can work with groups of women to help them live a more inspired life. It's just really fueled me, and so I just want to put that out there for you today. Are you living your life from the inside out, or are you either spending your days kind of responding to the life that's happening to you, and maybe even setting goals that you think, once I get there, then I'll be inspired, then I'll be happy. Once I get the job I want, or the relationship I want, or the whatever I want, whatever goal that I've set. I mean, we've talked about this before, but every goal you've ever set for yourself your entire life, you've set because you believe you're going to be happier when you achieve it. You're going to be more content. You're going to be more joyous. And so if that's the case, why are we waiting? You don't have to wait for goals to become a reality to choose to be happy, to choose to be content in life. It is possible to make a conscious choice. And what I've learned and what I've experienced is that when we make a conscious choice to live from a place of joy and to choose to be happy in our lives, things unfold in a way that matches that. We're very energetic. We're much more energetic than we are physical. As much as we focus on the physical and the reality that we're living, because we can see it, we can hear it, we can touch it, but there's something about the energy that we create within ourselves and we put out into the world that really shapes our life experience. And that's what I want to help people understand and be able to make great use of, so that you can live the inspired life that you came here to live. Because as I'd love to say, You did not come here to just barely make it through the day. You did not come here to survive. You came here to thrive, to find joy and meaning and purpose and fun. And there are certain choices we can make, and there's certain frameworks we can incorporate into just even our thinking and our perspective. Um, there are certain processes that we can implement to help reframe situations when they first hit us, perhaps negatively. And yeah, so that's what I'll continue to be putting out to you, and everything that I create moving forward. But for today, I really just want to put that in front of you to ask the question, do you feel like you're living an inspired life? And if not, what's one thing that you could do today? What's one thing that you could do today that would allow you to be more true to yourself? And it doesn't have to be some spectacular thing. You don't have to climb a mountain. But one thing you could do to either take care of yourself, to be good to yourself, or to be true to your heart, to move more in a direction of what would help create your soul signature in this life. Because each one of us have one. Each one of us have one. And as much as we are one, we are connected, we are also very unique in that we each have this soul signature that we are meant to live out in this life. And I just really want to encourage you to be open to that, be willing to see things differently, be willing to even contemplate what it would mean to live from the inside out. And some might think, well, wait a minute, that's selfish. There are people counting on me to nurture them, to take care of them. And believe me, I get that. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I have been a wife. I am a mom. I've been a partner. I've been a friend, and I get it. I get how we can feel not only the pressure but the desire to please and to take care of everyone around us. But here's what I've certainly learned is that if you don't focus on first being true to yourself, and in addition to that, filling your cup, then, as we've all probably heard before, you can't give from an empty cup. And if you can put yourself first and really live this inspired life, you're going to be of so much more benefit to everyone around you. I promise you that. And anyone that may fall away thinking, oh, well, you're being selfish, because now you're taking time every day to go watch the sunset, or go for a walk, or take yoga, or whatever the case may be, get your toes painted, I don't know, have a massage, all the things you should be doing. If someone falls away, then that's probably not someone who's been a super supportive, who's played a super supportive role in your life. So take a look at that too. Because I really want you to surround yourself with people that will support you in living the inspired life you came here to live. It's huge. It's just huge. And I am feeling more and more the impact and the benefit of it in my own life. And I can't wait to share more. So for the beautiful women that are checking this out or check it out later, no offense, you fabulous men that are checking it out, I love you and I appreciate you. So I know Jonathan, Tony, you're on, and thank you so much. The current group that kind of popped up back at the end of June is called Women Empowered. There's going to be a shift in that, because we are going to, I am still focusing on finding ways that I can empower women. I want to be able to empower you, but it's all about, at the end of the day, living the inspired life. So there are going to be some shifts in that group, just really from kind of a naming strategy and what we're about, and what I want to be able to deliver as a benefit to those that are part of that group. So right now, if you look for it, it's just called W.E. So WE stands for Women Empowered. So you can certainly find it there, but then also keep an eye on my wall, and I'll even post it in the comments of this particular video, because I am going to just make it a shift to bringing the focus on living an inspired life. So that's the plan, Stan. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So with all of my heart and soul, every single one of you who are on here right now, or who are checking this out at a later time, I want to encourage you to really take a step back, take a deep breath, and ask, am I being true to myself? Am I living my life from the inside out? Am I living an inspired life that would, by sheer example, lift others up? Because if you're living an inspired life, then your presence alone is like a breath of fresh air and freedom to people that you interact with. And I've learned that as the recipient of it, and people have shared that with me as I am embracing more and more of that myself. So join me on this journey and live the inspired life. It's what you came here to do. It's what you came here to do. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Here's your challenge in the comments. What is the one thing that you are going to do in the next 24 hours that would in some way, shape, or form honor you? Not what you're going to do for someone else to nurture them, to help them, to lift them up, but what are you going to do that would honor you? Maybe it is going for a walk or getting a massage, or maybe it is finally making a decision to do something, or even the first step to move in a direction that would cause you to be more true to who you are and to what you want your soul signature to be in this life. Because every single one of you have that within you, and if it's not coming out already, it's dying to. So just contemplate that a bit, and be willing to perhaps see things a bit differently, shift perspective a bit, and be ready to embrace what comes, because it's really beautiful. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday. Let me know in the comments what you're going to do to be more on the path of living your inspired life, and I will be sure to jump in there and respond and keep the conversation going. Also, I get the question sometimes. You are welcome always to share these videos. Feel free to share, comment. Love to keep the conversation going in any way we can. So with that, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your Thursday, and I will talk to you soon. Much love.